We'll see what the ETA does as well. The ETA seems to assume, like, if that's the airfield, the ETA assumes you're doing that. It doesn't assume you're going to go here and then around and then like that. So it gets the ETA wrong, but it gives you an idea. Ibanez, I pretty much don't use the keyboard during flight except to type things in, like airfield codes. I don't use any. If there's a hotkey on the keyboard, I will have a button on the Stream Deck instead, because I prefer that. I prefer an icon. How long does it take to swap out driving equipment? For me, about 10 to 15 minutes. Mostly because of space constraints. If I can have free access around all of this cockpit or sim rig, I would be able to get equipment on and off much easier. But I have to kind of lean over and, you know, it takes a bit longer. Yeah, it's like unscrew this, take it off, that's one done. The rudder pedals are 4 bolts, take that off. I literally showed that in the video that I did. I showed you how I do it. And then it's like, pedals back in, 4 bolts, move the position, put the wheel nut back in, 3 bolts, good to go. We'll need to figure out an arrival though. I think we was talking about, we only have a localizer going in to 3-2. Wheel for driving, yeah, why not? Yeah, so we have to work out our own glide slope on this one. When are you getting type rated on the 777? I hope PMDG bring their 777 over at some point. Enough PTSD watching Quirk change pedals 5 minutes before a race. Wait, what does he take the pedals out to do exactly? He doesn't fly, does he? I don't think I've ever seen him fly. So why does he need to change pedals? MD-11. Didn't Rotate make an MD-11, which was a good one. Right, localizer Z32. bunch of stars available, actually. So what is the star we're taking? Panic 1 Delta is what we decided. Can we approach via anything? That's the question. Mammal or Olivu? Olivu is a bit past where we want. I'm not sure where Mammal is. I think we probably just want to go straight in, if I'm honest. Yeah. That'll take us straight in. The only thing we've got to do is get the constraints right. It's played 5% of the past DCS world. Alright. I've never seen it. KHD, thank you for 96 months, sir. Thank you. Arrival. That's coming in from a liberal mammal. We're not, we're coming in this way. Should we have gone for Y? CV301. Interesting. So this localizer Z approach seems to assume you're coming in from Mammal, but we're kind of coming in from the southwest. You're using the Pinot 1 Delta arrival, provides a pretty good approach to Block 3 1 Delta. Let's have a look at 1 Delta. Well, that's what I was using. I was using 1 Delta. And I have it, it gives me quite a nice approach in, as you say, but yeah, it comes in nicely, it sets you up nicely, but on the chart, I'm not sure what you're looking at on the chart. That's the problem. I suppose we could take Gossip 4000. I assume Gossip was on there. Yeah, there's Gossip. 4,750, that's not right. So we want that at 4,000. And possibly a speed constraint at that point. So I might go down, we're 11 miles out, I might go 220 at 4,000 at Gossip, just to set us up. So by the time we get to Gossip, we're doing 4,000 altitude, 220 knots. Which should slow us down nicely, and then we'll have from here we'll have a good run in on 334. So we're looking at, it just says up restrictions. Yeah, exactly. And then TAS NDB 2,600 going in. 111.3. Well, I wonder if I just tune that in. No. So we want that in the VOR, don't we, really? And that. IPD in 334. That's the course, I think. 1.3 TIV. 334 looks good. Mailbox should pick it up automatically sort of frequency if you set the approach correctly. Well, I did set the approach correctly. It usually does, but it hadn't filled anything in at that point. But it seems to have now, anyway. It seems to have punched it into the ILS. It's 334. Glide sub 3 degrees. So it seems to be fine. So we've got that. Then flight plan page. Airports. YTB. Uh, 334 reciprocal is 154. Sound right? I wish you'd show the reciprocal on here. That'd be really nice. I think it's 154. Anybody confirm mental maths? And we'll have one 10 out again. Okay. 134. How does this sound right? You sure? Let's have a look. Oh, that looks correct to me. Yeah, the reciprocal. So basically, so the runway, the course going in is 334, so I want the reciprocal of that. So I need to subtract 180 from it, which is the reciprocal being the opposite. So then I can punch 154 in. It then gives me a radial of 154 coming out, which is like a guideline, so I can see roughly the line that we're going into, and then a circle at 10 nautical. So I've got a good idea when I need to start like being set up. You always subtract 200, then add 20. Yeah, that's not a bad way of doing it. So what do you do if the runway was like 134? What would you do then? The descent point there. You'd add 20. Subtract 180 if it's higher, add 180 if it's lower. Yeah, okay. So if it was 154, you'd add 20 to make it 174. And then what? Add 200, subtract 20. This is the problem, is like if you're sat in a plane, right, and you're flying, you're not autopilot, you're flying the plane, and then somebody basically says to you, what's the reciprocal of runway 154? Your brain goes to mush, honestly. You get task saturated at that point. Poets.
Well, gotta start some Corrine. Thanks for helping be a nice counterpoint to building IKEA.
Enjoy, dude. Thanks for your support. Have a good one. Pick up your calculator on the tablet. Yeah. Well, when you got the foggles on, you can't see anything. Let's see. Also need the ground charts, I think. Airport parking. Not a lot going on here. Look at the glare on that, dear me. 64.2 is our predicted landing weight. 64.2. Refresh the METAR. Dry conditions. Let's go reverses, low brake. Didn't like that, did it? 64.2. Full flaps, manual land. Is it going to calculate at some point? Oh, I didn't put the runway in. 3-2. I kind of feel like this interface, this app needs a little bit more intuition about it. It would be nice if, like, I hadn't chosen runway. It'd be nice if it kind of just highlighted the fact, just drew my eye to the fact that I need to do this and do this. Or at least have a button where you just say calc, and then it will say, yeah, but I need that. So that's fine. So if we go low brakes, max reverse, we should be okay. Coast of Italy. All this glass in the cockpit gets me test saturated. I have to pull out paper to reset more often than I. I mean, looking at this, it says like 12:43 at ML32. We should be landing just before 2 PM. I think we should be okay for time. No, just a cup of tea. Took you further south, I went a bit more north, not as nice scenery. I flew over more water. Yeah, in SimBrief you can click on view routes and you can just have a look where it's going. Because flying over sea is a bit boring. Yeah, I like to look at the route because the default one isn't always the best one. There's a runway there, look. I can't read it because it's got PES over the top of it. Literally can't read the pink writing. Whatever PES is. I'm just going to have a very quick toilet trip while we're up in cruise. We're back. Okay. Do you know what? I haven't really noticed that little bit on Italy before. I wonder what that's called. What's that cute one on the engine? I don't know. It says no step on it. I'm not really sure what its purpose actually is. Is it maybe a panel to pull the door panel open on the engine or something like that? I don't know. Airflow strike. So what exactly is it doing? What, these numbers here, they're the comms in the cockpit. So yeah, 124.85 is what you see here. So if I change that, although it's okay, so the since the sim restart, it's the software that talks to the sim is not come back. So I'll probably have to like restart some rubbish Logitech thing. Uh-oh. Wow, my PC didn't like that. Where is it? Is it going to be Logitech or Cytec? Logi Microsoft Simulator is probably that. I'm not going to kill it, but that will be what it is. Oh, this is the bit that sticks out, look. It was an island, though. Yeah, this is the bit that sticks out. It looks very mountainous, actually, look. Or very hilly. Wow, they've got, like... Do you reckon that's man-made? Keep the airflow smooth over the wing's leading edge. Boy, this. Interesting. Simad, see you later, bro. Yeah, it does a little bit, Ellie. I guess it's unusual though. Like that's a lot of land. To man-made that's a huge amount of land. You can see there's a man-made thing going through there, which creates this enormous calm body of water. It's weird. Time man-made profits in the Netherlands. Yeah, that's true. You're just on a massive land grab though, aren't you, Alex? You're just going to keep building out into the North Sea until eventually you get to the UK. And then you're like, hey. Yep, we keep telling that to Sean, but he doesn't listen. There he is. So Alex, you know that mod that stops this from just popping up? How does it change it? Like, what does it do instead? While we're talking, I'm just going to go and quickly have a look at it. This removes the handlebar that kills so many screenshots. You simply hover over the top middle of your screen, your toolbar buttons will appear. So it's... hang on. Completely hides the handle. Yeah, but when I move my mouse up to the second screen, like if I move my mouse now from here to that screen, the handle appears. Yeah? When I do that, is it going to stop that from happening? Because that's very irritating. Look at it. Look at it. It's just like, I'm here. I'm here. Rating 4.84 out of 5. Superb. One guy says can't fly without it. Definitely an essential mod. Do I need to log in to download this? No, I couldn't see a download link. I had to log in. And now it's doing a countdown thing. Off topic, but can somebody tell me how to rotate an item in DayZ inventory? Well, Mike, I haven't played DayZ release. I haven't got a clue. Maybe you can't. Who knows? Hold space while clicking and dragging, says Whiteland. Google. Imagine using Google. What's Google? We'll put that into Google. Imagine old days when Google didn't exist. Well, back then it was Alta Vista. That was the search engine of choice. I remember when everybody used Alta Vista, and your secondary was Yahoo, and then along came this Google thing with just a search box. We're like, what? Years later, it was the dominant search engine. Because it just seemed to find the right thing. It had this way of finding stuff that the others didn't. NHS, thank you for 29 months. Thank you. Netscape Navigator, dear God. That was a missed opportunity right there. Right, 15 nautical from top of descent. Start thinking about performance and stuff shortly. It's already worked out. Let's just refresh that. Okay, still good. 250 at 5 knots, that's fine. Very slight crosswind coming in. 5 knot left to right. SI or Imperial? For what exactly? Bearing in mind you're speaking to a man who lives in a country that likes to do both. So I'm not sure what you wanted me to say right now. In general, as I said yesterday, I would keep altitude in feet, but pretty much everything else apart from knots. I would stick with knots and feet for altitude. Most of the stuff, I would probably go to metric with it. No, distance in nautical miles. Not statute miles. The aviation industry borrowed a lot from the maritime industry, which had already been set up to work based on the Earth and the circumference of it and pi and all the rest of it. It's there for a reason. We don't just use knots randomly. More drag required. Nah. More nosedive required, Mr. Airbus. Right. Let's have a look. Q&H was 1011. Temperature down there was, God, I should have just left it on that screen, shouldn't I? 24. Hang on, before I do that. 24 and 2505. And the barrel off the chart we'll have to get. What does this mean? Standard and state. We've got two columns here. Minimum approach gradient 5 degrees minimum, 2.5 degrees minimum. I think we're going in on 3 degrees, aren't we? So presumably we want something like this. 1450. Sorry, 1480. Go with that. Flaps full. Not degrees per percent. That's a good call. They are percent. Yeah, I don't know what the distance of that column is. It says missed approach climb. Yeah, well that's the only clue. That's literally the only difference between these two columns. And that's why I don't know. I'm looking for something that distinguishes this column from this one, and the only thing I can see is standard versus state, and I'm not sure what that means. So I'm going to go with that as my missed. Airport elevation 20 feet. On. That is close to the water. Right, we're sending on profile, 19,000 feet. Look at the reflection of the cockpit. Look at this. You can see the reflection of the airframe and stuff inside the cockpit. It's nuts. Exactly ISO. I could go wing view, but there's not really much to look at right now. It's just sea, just water. So you just sit in the cockpit for like how many hours on autopilot 2? It depends on the flying. Like if you go really long distance, which is called a long haul flight, then yeah, you could go like 8 hours or something or more. You wouldn't sit in the cockpit. In real life they have to, obviously, but you know, I prefer sort of 90-minute hops because it's keeps you busy enough but gives you a little bit of a breather in cruise. We can just have a chat. There is no wireless approach. We've got to go just localize it only, which means we have to do our own glide slope, which is going to be interesting. To go on to this, we want to start descending when we get to TAS NDB 7.3 DME from TIV. So when we're 7.3 nautical from that, that's when we want to start descending. On a 3.2 degree glide slope. Jump in the hot tub during cruise, yeah. So this game is just a chatting game. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I mean, basically you jump in the plane, you press go, and it'll just do it all for you. It takes off, it goes where you want, and then it lands you, and then you just sit chatting. That's all you do, really. Dino Man, how you doing? It's like tennis, you know. Tennis is just hitting a ball over a net backwards and forwards to each other. Use a program called FSX Pilot. Okay. My computer calculates glide slope unlock. I think it will, but I haven't tried it. We're going to find out. It should give us a virtual glide slope to go in on. FSX Pilot is a fully AI aircraft helicopter, right? In what sense, Zero Official? The Phoenix one is pretty good, man. I will say that much. Okay, boys and girls, get back in your seat. Where are you flying? Where are we in the game? We left Italy. We're over the Adriatic Sea. Specifically, we are here. Left Florence, over the Adriatic, arriving to Montenegro. We're now on the arrival. Yeah, it was Dynamite. It was quite pretty. We had an instant departure out of Florence as well. You kind of come out runway 23 and then you circle climb back over the top of the airfield. Phoenix and FS Labs playing on a power code, readers and flying model, etc. I don't know. I couldn't give you that kind of detail. Like, I haven't flown the FS Labs enough hours to say whether or not the Phoenix stacks up against it. All I know is that the Phoenix is behaving itself pretty well. I have had one or two occasions where the AP disconnected. When I punched in an altitude, it tilted up aggressively. The airspeed dropped and it cancelled autopilot. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to do IRL. No idea. Master Mike, thank you for 72 months. Right, can we ditch that yet? Just about. What I will say is, you won't be disappointed in this if you buy it. It will do what you want it to do. It looks beautiful. It has one of the best EFBs that's out there. Yeah, Alex, there is an Easter egg in here. I can't remember where it is now. There's a floppy disk. I can't remember where they put it. There's a floppy disk in the cabin somewhere, and it has written on it test.exe. We know what that's referring to. pins behind the captain's chair. Fair enough. It's in the gear pin box behind the pilot seat. There you go. I like that. It's like some of the startup messages they've put in as well, they're quite funny. FPS, generally speaking it's over 40 all the time, which is pretty good because I have the settings quite high. Right, we want to arm the localizer. CIV, confirmed 19 miles, that's good. So 7.2, you should be going down at that point. And we wanted light auto brake, we want an armor spoiler, 1000 sets. Yeah, PC Tech, if you, I'm running mostly ultra settings with some dialed back that aren't really significant to have left on. It's doing that thing again. Should be at 4,000 at Gossett. Right, localizer is coming in. I'm going to go manual speed now, I think, for a bit. Just bring it back. That very much, do it? I've got it slightly over the profile now. Overspeeding now, not good. Still insisting on throttling up for some reason. Oh shit.
Terrain ahead.
Let's just do it manually.
100 above. Minimum.
It's all gone a bit Pete Tong, isn't it? We're going to be coming in very, very hot. I think we'll have to go around here. Yeah, we're going around. There's no way this is working. We came in too high on profile, couldn't get rid of all that speed.
Too low, terrain.
Hang on, 250. Airport is crazy, yep.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
I think we're
Pull
aware
up.
of the terrain, bro.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain ahead.
Terrain
Pull up.
ahead.
Not the easiest to navigate. Yeah, tricky approach, that one. Very tricky. Quarter to 2 as well. We need to land this thing. What was the altitude I wanted to be at? Gossett, 4,000. Okay, get ourselves over here. Get down to 4,000, get out of trouble, and figure out a way of getting back in. Literally thrown away the flight plan. That's wrong. Doesn't want to keep that 250 knots. There's Gossett, there's Dessel. Okay, so if we come back come back in on Gossip again and have another go at that. Yeah, they're already armed. Thing is, I don't know if it's set up for an approach anymore. That's the problem. Like the RadNav page has still got. I don't think it is it? Former error. I think it thinks we're landing at our alternate now. That's what I think it thinks we're doing. I need to tell it, I want to go back to LYTV on that same approach, but I don't know how you do it in the Airbus. Still says destination. Arrival. Localizer. It still thinks we're going there, bizarrely enough. We go to Gossett, so I want to clear that. It's got DY, it's got Lasty on there, but it doesn't have Gossett after it, bizarrely enough. After Lasty, you kind of want to go to Gossett. Press perf, why? What does that do? Activate the approach phase. Firm approach. I'm going to swing, if I go direct Gossett now, maybe. VDev, LDev. So many buttons. Yeah. Pep, thank you for 23 months. A33 Maxi, thank you for subbing. Welcome. Jasper Aviation, thanks for 29. John at the right time, must say that Phoenix has amazing sounds. Yeah, and I'm really struggling to get this thing in to this tricky airport. So now I want it to go back into approach mode like that. And in theory, it's going to fly the right course, but honestly, I don't know. Like the LNAV's bringing us round to Gossett. Yeah, we were carrying way too much speed on that approach then. Gonna arm that localizer again. I don't like the way it's saying VDev, LDev, I don't know what that means. I'm going to get that speed right down. Going to get the gear down as well. Give us more time. The question is it going to follow the approach down? steep ahead of path. Interesting. Airfield is over there. We need to make sure we don't carry too much speed going in. It says 4,000 it costs it. $2,600 afterwards. Okay. It was a lovely looking approach, but we just couldn't get this bird down. I don't think it's happy with the flight plan, if I'm honest. I don't think it's going to go take us down to LYTV. Localizer's coming in and it's locked it. I'm trying, pups, mate. I'm trying. What does it look like? This is not the easiest approach. Right, we're below the glide path this time and we're fully configured, so we should be fine to get this down this time. I still don't know though what that LDev, VDev thing is. I don't know what that orange warning means. I think it's something to do with the flight plan not lining up correctly. Nah, I'm not going to do that yet, Tootsie, because there's no point. Firstly, it's flying me the right way, and secondly, I'm below the profile, so I'm not on the glide slope yet. Lateral vertical deviation, yeah, but I'm not really sure what it's telling me because I'm on the localizer according to this, so why have I got an LDev? That's the bit I don't get. Indeed, PC Tech. It is a very nice approach though. Pity we can't enjoy it. It does look very nice, look at this. The warnings haven't disappeared, they're still there. Still got them. 10 nautical, so 7.2. We should be coming down. not going to go down as this. I'm going to disconnect and do it manually. I'm just going to hand fly it down. We're not overshooting this time. Maybe that's why it sends us a deviation, because that's the airfield, but what this is telling me is not lining up. Look, see that? Is that crosshair? That crosshair doesn't line up. We'll have to do it visually. That's why it's flashing. I did arm the approach. You saw me do it, Zugoku. That's definitely the airfield, isn't it? That one there. I didn't arm that approach, yeah. I actually don't think it would have worked though. Because if you look at what that ILS is trying to get me to do, well, not the ILS, the virtual glide slope is just way off, and that's why it's telling me it's way off. I don't know why it's way off, but it is. No, it has a virtual glide slope.
100 above. Minimum.
Definitely an instant approach, this one. If I overshoot, we're in the water. Let's put it that way. Slight left to right wing going on.
400. $200. 100, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
We're down. Whew, that was a whole ball of concentration going in there. Blimey, that took a lot of focus. What a lovely approach, though. Landing lights off, taxi light on. Wow, isn't it beautiful around here? Look at this. That was alright, wasn't it, in the end? After a interesting go around. wants us to park. Does he want us to like face that way or something? Oh well. You need to lie down. Lol. Phew. Blimey. You alright with that, pups? Did that meet your expectations, mate? Disarm the spoilers. Seatbelt signs can come off. APU is up, I believe. Commence deboarding. Oh, okay. Apparently it wasn't. It's available now, but it wasn't quite ready. Not to worry. Services. Okay, we should be... I'm rushing a little bit too far. No airstairs. How do you expect the packs to get off, man? Come on. Can't get the staff. Blimey. That's better. Oh, welcome to Montenegro. Beautiful. Fantastic. Lovely airport. Lovely approach. Tricky. Very tricky. And definitely had some interesting stuff going on with the Airbus. But I've missed the start of the race. I'm going to go and watch it now. So I'm going to be back after the F1. And then we'll plot a flight out of Montenegro. So we're going to fly out of here and go somewhere else. More on that later. So that is it. Back in about 2 hours. Straight after the F1 I'll be back online. So I shall see you all then. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.